Another edition of the Sports Shop Forte Hair Salon as we are back, a post-Eagles Super Bowl victory edition as the city is lit up, not literally of course, don't believe the hype and all the nonsense that you hear on the outside. Usual suspects are in the house and we have a very special guest with us, and I almost feel bad as Adam Taliaferro is with us, and he's got an amazing story in his own. You talk about making it right now. Assemblyman, I should say, Adam Taliaferro joining us, but I feel guilty, I should say, not bad, introducing you because I know the Penn State and Jeff Mosher is dying right now.
I'll let you have it. It's okay.
I'm saying, like, you know, we're not here to step on anybody's toes or anything like that. But no, Adam, it's a pleasure, man. Thank you. Yeah, no, it's beautiful, man, to have you here and to talk everything that's going on in the world of sports and beyond. So let's just start with the city itself, because I don't know about anybody else, but Sunday following the Super Bowl out on Broad Street and just being down there and all the shots in the middle of it, and then thinking to myself, all right, I don't know if anything like this can eclipse the moment, which is the city erupting, winning a Super Bowl. And then you see, I don't know what the numbers were, I saw a difference from 2 to 3 to 700,000, I don't care. But Thursday, the organization of everybody just making an effort to get down there and celebrate. I've never seen this city like this before in my life. 20 years that I've been associated with this city, never anything like this.
For me, you know, well, first, thanks for having me.
Oh yeah,
But for me, you know, it still feel like it hasn't sunk in. You know, I remember I worked right on Broad Street, and I remember the Phillies parade, and then, you know, seeing what the Eagles did and the amount of people and the love and black, white, whatever you were, just everybody was in it to just have fun. And I think that's like I said, it's hard for me to put into words because I lived in South Jersey my whole life, and you always hoped and prayed for something like this to happen, and for it to actually be here. It's like that Christmas gift you always wanted, then you finally open up the box and you see it there, you don't know what to do with it.
Right.
And that's how I feel.
I think you just hit on something, like not knowing what to do with it. I feel like people here are going to be different for a long time because it changes everything. You know, first of all, I don't even think the Sixers or Flyers have lost, right, since the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
No.
So everybody's on cloud nine, but there are some other things going on underneath the surface, like with the Sixers and Fultz, but people, I feel like people don't want to be negative right now. Like if there's a negative thing or something to complain about, people shift right back to Eagles just won the Super Bowl.
I got something to complain about, but I'm going to save it for the end of the show. I'm going to save it for the very end because it's an itch that I need scratching. But go ahead.
But most people just go right back to, but the Eagles just won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It's just like, I didn't think, I mean, you lived in South Jersey your whole life. Did you ever think you would see, I feel like the emotion that you saw from people is because there were truly people who never really felt the Eagles were going to win the Super Bowl in their lifetime. Did you ever think that they were going to win?
No, to be honest with you, no. And I mean,
You're not alone.
But it took me back to like when I first became an Eagles fan. I remember growing up, I remember the first time I saw Randall Cunningham and Keith Byers in the diamond. And I was just like, man, like there's Eagles right there. And that's when I kind of fell in love. And it's just like every year you have these expectations. That's what it is, it's expectations. And like I said, it's just like, I think until I see those rings, I mean, we saw the trophy.
Right.
Until I see those rings, that's when I think
that's when it sets in.
Yeah.
You hear those perks of South Jersey living, by the way. He gets to, you know, you go out to the restaurants, you know.
See these guys.
In the 80s, you know, there was like a Rexy's on the Black Horse Pike running into Flyers and, you know, trying to get autographs. That's South Jersey living.
But that's interesting, though, like just the time frame. Like, has it set in for you? Be honest. I don't think look at your face. It hasn't set in.
No, I think I'm going to celebrate to the next Super Bowl.
All the way through, right? So you basically, the city has bragging rights until when? Until the season starts, until the Eagles get eliminated.
Yeah.
Until there's
you got bragging rights forever. I mean, how
until they get eliminated.
No, eliminated from the playoffs.
Eliminated from the playoffs.
You don't lose the bragging rights. Because honestly, how many times have we heard Giants, Redskins, and Cowboys fans literally been talking about their Super Bowl ring since the 90s. They don't stop. So now we got ours. I'm gonna brag about this Super Bowl win forever because we won. We beat Tom Brady. Now we're the greatest. We ended their reign.
Is there a generational gap in this? Like, if you're 35 and older, you're thinking like, I'll never live this moment. It doesn't matter. I just got one. But if you're younger, you're like, now I want to be like the Patriots.
I'll never live down this moment, and I want 2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh, okay. You want the best of
I'm LeBron James. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4.
I think they're going to repeat, though.
Why?
The energy from this one going to push them. to do better. And I think Carson got to prove that he can win it, and it's just going to raise the bar for him.
Did you see Carson looking up at Nick Foles when he was
Yeah,
accepting that Super Bowl award? Like, you know, he was so happy, but inside he's like, I think he even said, somebody quoted him mouthing the words like, next year that's going to be us, or next year it's going to be me.
What's it like? I mean, I know. Listen, yours was an extreme example compared to what Carson Wentz had to deal with, of course. But you were at least on the sidelines. You know, you can root for your teammate at some point. But I'm sure it's going through this kid's head. Man, I want to be out there. And he doesn't look like a jealous individual. He doesn't strike me from what he said. And Jeff's been up there and a close person with him. He doesn't look to me at all from act and speech like he would even harbor any type of resentment. But the athlete and the competitor in you must feel like that's a tough balance.
That's how, I mean, Carson, I haven't met him, and some of you guys have met him, but he seems like one of the most humble dudes that you'll ever meet. But like you said, the competitor in you, you want to be out there leading your team to a championship.
Right.
You want to finish, you want to bring it home. The fact that, you know, like I said, I had an injury that took me out for the rest of my career.
Right.
My freshman year, fifth game of my freshman year. For the next 4 years at Penn State, I was on the sideline. I played corner looking at the other corners like, man, I know I can do what they're doing. I could probably do it better than that.
Right.
And that's
the competitor.
But you room, that's your brother, that's your teammate out there. You root for him, but the competitor inside you always wants to show people what you can do.
I'm with that.
Back to the point, you can see how he looked at Nick. It's not a bad jealousy thing. It's one of the things like, I have to be the one to do this. Because you gotta think, he kind of like led them there. His energy of him winning the game, playing, led him there, and like he gotta feel like kind of like that fire in the inside for them to repeat. And if they keep everything together, I just think it's just gonna be better because they have more repetition.
Right, but they're the hunted now. That's the thing. The thing is,
No
they're
more dog
well
masks.
grounded, right? Right. No more dog masks.
Top dog.
No more
those
dog.
off.
Top dog,
Go from
man.
underdog to top dog.
Top
So
dog, man.
every game, and this is what to me is the most amazing thing about what the Patriots do is that year after year. Now it helps to play in the AFC East, right? Play 3 crap teams
Hey,
every year.
I'd argue that
But-
the NFC East ain't that strong.
No, but it's all 3 big market teams. All 3 spend more than the Bills.
But right now, though, look at
right now, no
you've
doubt,
got a
no
window
doubt.
maybe of 3 years. Think about this. The Giants and the Skins really are going to be looking to the draft for a
Right.
quarterback in the next, year or two? And the Dallas Cowboys ride or die with a young kid right now who's capable, but he ain't Carson.
Right.
And there's a distinct difference between Dak
ain't
Prescott and Carson Wentz. You're right. He might be the 5th best quarterback in the
He ain't even
division.
Sudfeld.
He might be. He might be.
About Sudfeld.
He might be.
Little
But my only
Sudfeld.
point, though, is that you're right. These teams in history are going to spend a lot of money and they're going to be competitive in that market. And you saw the Giants spend a ton on their defense. But the Eagles might have that Patriot AFC East dominant window for maybe 2 years.
Yeah, as opposed to 15, right?
Well,
at
hey,
least 2 or 3.
hey, listen, baby steps, man. Hey, we just got one Super Bowl here. You want a 15-year
Well,
run?
I'm inspired by that. Not one,
Not
two,
not three, not four. You know.
Look, well, I gotta ask you this though, because from one South Jersey guy to another, right? The number of impact athletes, right? Skill position athletes from our neck of the woods,
Oh, yeah.
right? Because
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
South Jersey too. Going back from Franco Harris to Ron Dane, Irving Fryer, now Corey Clement. What a story! Like,
Oh, man.
did you personally follow a little more, knowing that he's from our neck of the woods?
Yeah, I mean, all the South Jersey guys. I mean, I went to Eastern High School. We got 2 in the league right now with Logan Ryan and Eli Apple. So, of course, you know, I always follow those 2 guys. But anybody from South Jersey, whether it's college football, pro football, you know, I always say display them South Jersey talents because people, I think Jersey as a whole, when you think about football players, you think about Ohio, you think about Florida, you think about California, you know, even PA. But on a per capita basis, Jersey puts out a lot of talent. And to see what Corey did, you know, South Jersey has a connection to Wisconsin. And you talk about Ron Dane and Byron Brown, he went to Overbrook. Sure. A lot of those guys go to
Sean Green, remember? For Iowa?
Sean Green, Iowa. And I just, you know, I'm amazed at what he did.
Right.
You know, coming from being undrafted to having the game that he had in the Super Bowl. That's like you could write a book about that.
Right. And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention Mike Daniels, who is one of the all-time NFL characters and a great lineman and just a wonderful guy in South Jersey and an ambassador too. But just
Mike's amazing, by the way.
Yeah, Mike's an incredible dude.
It's tough he plays on a pack squad, but man, if he
Better than
played,
Cowboys.
yeah, it's true. But if he played here, talk about a perfect marriage for city and personality.
No doubt. He'd be the Jason Kelsey of defensive line.
But no, go ahead.
I was curious if you know about this connection that South Jersey has with these Big Ten schools. I mean, yourself, you go to Penn State, Wisconsin, Iowa. Corey goes to Wisconsin. Ron Dane went to Wisconsin. Where does that come from?
I just, being in this area, nothing against Rutgers.
I was waiting for that.
Temple. And when I graduated from high school in 2000, and at that time, Rutgers wasn't winning any games, Temple wasn't winning any games, and the only school that I really saw on TV that was doing work at that time was Penn State. And when I committed to them, they were ranked number 1 in the country. That's Shafi and LeVar Arrington and Brandon Short, all those guys. So that was always, growing up, that was always my team. Right. And, you get a lot of Big Ten games that you get to watch here in this area. So it was a no-brainer for me. I mean, when it came down to it, I was either going to go to Penn State or Tennessee. And Tennessee I just liked because it was a whole different vibe down there.
Peyton Manning guy was all right.
A lot of stuff off the football field that was very appealing.
It's hard to ignore that.
No, I feel like every SEC school has that distinct advantage.
That's right. That's right.
The scenery.
My parents put an end to that quick. Penn State, so it all worked out well.
Clement, to me, and you've been around, so you were here. Brian Westbrook is a guy who perfectly fit the West Coast offense because he could catch the ball. He was a great runner. He was actually fairly good at blitz pickup as his career went. And I think with working with Deuce, you saw Corey Clement kind of involved in that, which is amazing because you remember the Big Ten championship from 2 years ago, Penn State, Wisconsin, they were bringing that kid off the field on third down. To see where he's come has been amazing. And I actually think, you have flexibility with what you want to do with Ajayi because that might be your future star.
Like I said, I'm biased. I think he showed what he can do in that Super Bowl. Because I didn't think he was a good receiving back out the backfield. I didn't know what he was like.
Right?
He proved everybody wrong.
Was that part of Kelsey's speech? I forget.
Was that
Corey can't catch.
And I've seen him pick up a couple blitzes in that game too. That got third downs, and that it was crucial pickups. Like he sacrificed himself.
2 words, man. Deuce Staley.
Yeah, Deuce
One of the
Staley.
best blitz pickup backs in the franchise history. And he helped LaShawn McCoy do it. He's helped Corey Clement. He helped. I was going to say DeMarco, but I don't really think DeMarco was about that life. But Ajayi got better.
Ajayi got better at it. I've seen Ajayi picking up too.
And Westbrook.
That's why the Eagles got to keep him, man. I don't
Keep who?
Deuce Staley. I don't want to see him, especially.
He's not going anywhere.
No.
I'm glad. I hope not, because I was scared he was going to go to the Giants.
Nah.
That's why I was
No.
I'm happy the Giants got Mike Chu.
Yeah, let them.
Let them.
Exactly. Just burn to the ground.
I think Mike Shula's probably happy to be gone from Cam at this point,
Hey, at this point, let that rotation just keep going as long as it doesn't touch Philadelphia.
Yeah, definitely.
Think about that. They lose an offensive coordinator, they lose a quarterbacks coach, and everybody's just like, Carson Wentz is back. Right. We got him reading. It's just amazing. And I know we kind of talked about this in the beginning, but you start to look at the team, and I'm sure you've noticed this too, as far as just the difference in attitude moving forward, right? To where everything beyond just sport, I feel like the city has changed. I don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know if this is just another month. But I've seen people, I've seen an interaction on the Schuylkill where somebody has cut another person off and no fingers have been flipped. And I credit that to the Super Bowl, Adam. All right? I credit that to the Super Bowl.
I'm sure they had all their fingers?
People are nicer. People are nicer though. Like you see people holding the door.
Yes.
Especially if you got on some Eagle stuff, they really being nice to you. You know what I mean? Like
it's that euphoria that everybody always expected would happen. It's like those World at the End of Time movies that you see, and at the end, everything gets reversed back, but then the black cloud dissipates, and people are like, "Oh, the sun again," and they're nicer to each other. That's Philadelphia right now.
They gotta win next year though. They gotta actually.
Look at you! Can't you just enjoy
it?
No,
they do.
Well, no, that's the
it's
thing.
Gonna turn it back.
He's right though.
It's gonna turn it back. Yeah, because people expect them to go and mess up. They gotta change the culture year by year. They gotta just
think about that.
I think there'll be disappointment, but I don't think it's going back. It's not going back to the 51 years before. Before. Not
that though, but it would be disappointment because Carson would be the guy at the helm, and it's like, damn, Nick did it. Why couldn't Carson do it? So maybe it's unfair and unrealistic to put that on his shoulders, but you know what? The kid was an MVP before he goes down.
But think about the Phillies. Think about that 08 team and that 09 team. Where that 09, you look at that
09 team came back better.
Yeah, that 09 team was better than the 08 team. And that's the team that didn't win.
And I think people are not more, and I don't even want to say as, but I'll say as. I think that when you look back at the Phillies' run, people start, and logically, you're going to start with winning the World Series. But right there is a 1A is '09. Because of your point, which is, okay, outside of Hideki Matsui turning into Babe Ruth, what the fuck happened? You know? Like, what happened there? You should have won that series.
You had Cliff Lee, you had Pedro on his last leg, but still Pedro on his last leg was probably better than almost every pitcher they had the year before except for Cole Hamels.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I think Toot's right, saying, you know, to an extent, hey, if they don't come back and at least make it to the Super Bowl, there's going to be a lot of people being like, yo, what happened?
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because they talked all that yap right now.
Right.
Cowboys
Like
fans.
I'm talking crazy right now. I'm talking crazy.
I didn't even think Toot had time to celebrate because he was talking so much shit to everybody. I was like, yo, did you get it even like a minute to breathe?
Oh, but that came with the territory.
Yeah.
You know, as soon as we won, as soon as that clock went final, I'm looking around the Cowboys fans. Because Cowboys fans have been understand what's been going on here. Cowboys fans been yapping since Biggie. Not only was Biggie and Tupac alive, Biggie and Tupac were friends when the last time the Cowboys won. Martin was on the air. Clinton was president. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So I'm looking around at them like, okay, what you got to say now? Now we ain't talking about, oh, you got to ring. I got to ring this century.
You know what they saying now?
Neil O'Donnell
Get
was a
another
Super Bowl
one.
quarterback last time.
Get another one. We got 5. Get another one. But the argument was
You
you
don't
don't have
remember,
none.
but half the people that say that don't even remember that far. It's like, how old were you when the Cowboys won? That's
Some
the first
were
thing I
8.
always ask people, no matter what. How old were you when the Cowboys won? Oh, I was 8.
Well, it's been 22 years.
That would have been.
Yeah, 22
Yes, but
What
they talk about it like it was yesterday, so that's why it seems so close to today.
They couldn't even name like 11 of the 22 starters on
all
offense and
young,
defense.
young children at that point, if they were even rooting for the team back then, too. That's another thing. All right, I got to ask you, though, as somebody who is now an assemblyman in politics, you've done your share of public speaking. What did you think of Jason Kelsey's speech?
Oh man, you know, for me, it was just good to see that realness. Because, you know, it's so many, especially being in politics, you got to be so by the book.
Right.
You know, you got to make sure you don't offend anybody, make sure you don't say anything crazy. He got up there and just spoke his mind.
Right.
And I got appreciation for that because not too many people can do that and get away with it.
Right.
And I think he spoke from his heart. You know, a lot of NFL players, college players say we don't listen to the media, we don't watch TV, you know, we're oblivious to the criticism.
Nah.
You saw right there.
He's on Twitter.
He had a notebook.
He probably had like 6 burner accounts on Twitter. You know, following everybody. Like, oh, I remember that. He had a whole list. That's a hit list.
He had files ready.
That's a Corleone hit list right there.
Right.
It was just so the delivery, you know, what he was wearing, it just all fit together. It was like the perfect mix.
That was epic.
How did you feel just as a politician to see Torrey Smith and Chris Long and Malcolm Jenkins all year long dedicate their lives to both football and then social justice issues?
It's impressive, man. I tip my hat to those guys because people are pulling at these athletes all different directions. And they're millionaires. They're good. So they really don't have to get involved in any of this stuff. And sometimes it affects their livelihood. You know, the stance that Malcolm Jenkins took, they lost sponsors and different things like that. So I can't do anything except tip my hat because those guys took a financial risk. They put their own livelihoods on the line, and they still stood up for what they believe in. I think a lot of us, for me personally, I take, I kind of follow in their footsteps, man, because a lot of things I want to say, I'm like, I don't know if I should say that. But it kind of provides inspiration to you, saying, these guys, they did it, and they're all good. We should all take that leap of faith sometime and stand up for what we believe in.
Hey man, Jersey guys speak their mind, for better or for worse. Chris Christie spoke his mind. Cory Booker speaks his mind. You gotta, take the mic and speak your mind,
hey,
right?
I'm still good. I'm still like, I'm what they call a backbencher, so I'm still trying to work my way up. I've been there for 4 years now, and being in the state legislature, it's a different dynamic. Especially being from South Jersey, it's like that North Jersey, South Jersey dynamic. It's like 2 totally different states.
Right.
We had on the parade day, we had legislative committees. I'm trying to see if we can cancel them. Half the state, they're all Giants and Jets fans, so I'm sitting up there in legislative committee because half of them can give a crap about the Eagles parade.
And you're like in Princeton, right? That area?
We're in Trenton.
Oh, Trenton. Okay, so that's kind of
It's like the
halfway
demarcation.
central.
Yeah.
It's the demarcation line.
Yeah.
The DMZ in Jersey.
Right?
What are you looking to get out of your career in politics?
For me, it's just the reason I got involved in politics was because when I had my injury, I had a spinal cord injury. I was in the hospital for almost a year. And I realized at that time there's just a lot of good people that are willing to help out.
Right.
And I was the benefactor of just so much support from so many people in the community, people I never met in my life. So when I got good again, my goal was to try to give back in whatever way I could. So I created a foundation to help people who have spinal cord injuries.
Okay.
And also want to get involved in just public service. You know, to be honest, I don't have any desires to be in Congress or go down to D.C. My goal is to.
Shit, we need you down there.
It's crazy, man. It's
All right.
You want to be grassroots?
Yeah, I don't have any, like, I just want to, hey, you know, don't call me Silver, call me Adam. You know, I'm just a normal guy. Let's figure out, you know, we're not experts. We need to talk to the people to hear what really their issues are and then try to affect change. And that's the fun part about being in the legislature. It's like, I could talk to you, you say, hey, you know, I'm having X, Y, and Z issue. We can go back to the state and say, you know, can you draft a bill around it, and we can be voting on it within the next 2 weeks, and you know, if the governor signs off, that could become a law. So to have that ability to impact changes, for me, is special and something I really cherish and don't take for granted.
You were given a 3% chance to live, or walk again. I'm sorry,
Yep.
big difference, but still,
Yeah.
3% chance to walk again, and you walked again. And then you kind of became a little bit, and probably, here's what I'm going to ask you, is like, you know, books have been written about you. You're a name. You're a regional, even national name. And a lot of times when Penn State plays Ohio State, your story will come up. What's that been like for you?
You know, for me,
For a guy who just wants to be Adam, you know what I'm saying?
but it's weird because like I got known because I got hurt.
Right.
Like it's not because I was an All-American or because I did anything special on the football field. It's just
Well, also because you came back from it.
But the thing is, like, I can't take too much credit for that. All I had to do was what the therapist told me to do. You know, from the very first moment of my injury when I was down on the field, our team trainers injected me with a steroid that stopped the swelling in my spinal cord, which basically saved me walking. So without our trainer, none of this would be possible. So for me to say, you know, I'm walking, you know, to me, it was him. And then I was at McGee Rehab here in Philly for 8 months, and they dedicated, you know, my therapist 7-8 hours a day, teach me, you know, when I got in there, I couldn't do anything.
Right.
And they work, and I still, you know, I still have a limp, my right side's still weak, but for the most part, without so many people putting their time and effort into me, my story wouldn't be possible. So I'm thankful, you know, I appreciate that people say, you know, Adam, it's great that you're walking again, but I realize, man, in order to get through life, you need people. And I've been blessed to be just surrounded by good people like we got here today.
Is it hard to watch, you know, the extremes of the game at times? You know, like Ryan Shazier goes down, and you know, I'm sure it's tough at times. So when you see that, just as regular fans, it is nevertheless, you know, regardless of what you know you went through as well.
Yeah, you always, you know, you kind of take a deep breath whenever you see someone down there for an extended period of time.
Yeah.
And whenever I see somebody go down, the first thing I look to see if they're moving. And especially with Shazier, it's ironic because when I was playing at Penn State, our defensive coordinator was a guy named Tom Bradley. And his brother is the head doctor with the Steelers.
Okay.
So I remember when he went down, I text Tom and I said, you know, can you check, you know, ask your brother how Shazier is doing. He just said, you know, you just don't know right now. And, you know, a lot of the information has been kind of scarce. Heard he's had some positive recovery thus far, but for him, and as I tell people all the time, every day I wish I got injured 18 years ago in 2000, but there's not a day that goes by I don't wish I was still out there playing. But at the end of the day, when you go through something like that, you realize sports is secondary. For me, I'm blessed just to be up walking, hanging out with y'all. That's for me. And so I can't complain, man. I don't have bad days.
But you have children. You have 2 kids.
Yeah.
Right, both boys.
Boy and a girl.
Boy and a girl. All right.
I was trying for 2 boys.
I know the feeling. I got 2 girls, and now I have a boy dog. So, does your son like football? Is he old enough to understand it? And how do you feel about him playing football, being everything you went through?
It's cool, man. Just with the Eagles going through that Super Bowl run, I feel like it got the kids to really buy in. Because my son, trying to get him to watch, he's 2. Trying to get him to sit down and watch a game was like, he wanted no parts. But when he started seeing other people wearing Eagles gear, he wanted the Eagles hat, he wanted to do the Eagles chant. So he was like, Daddy, you know, I like football. And my wife, she's like, hey, over my dead body is our son ever played football. But I'm of the mindset, if he was to play, let him go out there and play. You could just, you know, you could get in a car accident on the way home and have my type of injury. So
well, what he's describing right now is what I think is going to be a little bit of a civil war in the future, and it's already started. You would like him to play if he wants to play. Everybody knows, at least in my household, probably yours, maybe the mom controls, right? There is.
That's a major
You'll find out.
concession.
You'll find out. I mean, you look across the country right now, and high school football participation is down in a lot of big suburban
California
areas.
is looking to pass a bill that says no
stop
contact
football
until you hit high school.
Right.
So contact is the first. Now at this point, I don't know if that's even good to not have any contact on your body for so long, and then by the time you're, what, 14?
Right.
Condition, guys aren't used to tackling.
No, but that's what happened with my oldest son. He didn't play contact football until really high school, you know, because my mom was like, no. They seen me get hurt, they seen me, and they like, no. And he was with them, like, I ain't playing. But he ain't start wanting to play until he seen his friends play. So he started playing like his 8th grade year, you know what I mean? But by the time he got in 9th grade, he was able to like withstand the hit. It don't take long if they want to do it. They want to play.
All right, real quick, because we're winding down, but I said that I had at least one thing, and it's only one thing to really bitch about. But it's not really bitch about so much as it is apply what you've been through that maybe you can offer some advice.
Yeah.
Because it's not a physical thing. And I don't know what is, and the beauty of it is that I don't know what's going on, but nobody else does either. And that's with Markel Fultz. And this young man right now, and listen, I think we're all rooting for him. But at the same time, you got a situation that there's nothing you can go to on the books. You can't point to and say, oh, you know, this injury needs 4 to 6 weeks. Or this is how you deal. I mean, even something like mental, like what Brandon Brooks went through or is going through right now, there is nothing that's concrete that you treat that with. It's just therapy individual to the individual and dealing with this. But Fultz at the same time is dealing with something mental, but also to the point in which he's got VR goggles to try, and I don't even mean this as a joke, but it's coming out like a joke. He's got VR goggles to try to relearn the basic motion of shooting. I can't imagine being broken down to the point in which you have to be rebuilt like that. But the mental anguish this kid's going through must be impossible.
It's hard for me to imagine. Like I tell people going through my injury, 50% was mental, you know, because I remember being in the hospital with so many people that just gave up.
Right.
But when you give up and you don't want to go to therapy each day, you don't want to work out, then you just go downhill. But like you said with Markel, it's like this dude was the best guy on the court throughout his entire life. And to get to the NBA and just forget it, I'm a season ticket holder, so I'm like, yo, you gotta get out there.
After the summer
I need some
league,
value on my tickets. I'm
2
having a hard time
first-round
selling my
picks
tickets.
attached to this
It's like,
man.
hold on, it's like he forgot after the summer league. It's like he forgot after the summer league. Because the summer league, he was
cooking.
Oh, he cooking. He gonna be all right.
Yeah.
It's almost like somebody changed his shot after the summer league.
I don't know.
Is he like upset about like I see him on the bench? He look like he's just like
He chilling.
Like he's like I'm cool.
Well,
Like,
if you had a confidence issue, right, the last thing you want to do is broadcast yourself to the public looking like, you know, like
I
he's
wanna
probably
look
trying to
mad,
hype him
though.
up.
But you see videos of him cranking it. Boom, dunking the ball. You see him at the line. Like the little videos
Well,
I see.
anything in the paint is good, but anything at the line or
He has to have some kind of mental issue to forget how to shoot the basketball.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Knobloch.
But the
Remember
problem is
Chuck
some of those
Knobloch?
don't come back.
Yeah, he forgot how to swing, right?
No, he couldn't throw,
throw
from second to
first.
first.
Oh really?
Yeah, from the Yankees.
Now-
and he was able to do it his entire career. He's Major League Baseball second base.
See,
But
the
they
young
couldn't
guys
figure
bring
it
up
out.
Chuck Knobloch. The old heads like me remember Steve Blass, the pitcher for the Pirates, because when Knobloch went through it, they called it Steve Blass disease. He couldn't throw a strike. He just could not throw a strike for his life, and he was gone.
Yeah.
You got
Now, John Lester is a guy, the pitcher for the Red Sox and the Cubs, who can't throw to first base on the ground. He just so they can work around that though. They can say, you know, swallow it up, don't let him go for first or second. It's just an infield single. If you're a shooter, if you're you're a basketball player, and you don't have form, you don't have a shot, you might as well be like the pitcher who can't throw strikes.
Yeah, I don't expect to see him for the rest of the year.
I think
You know
the
what?
best thing they could do is shut him down for the rest of the year. Let him
Again.
Shut his social down too.
At his age, time to develop. and
Me and you
mature
telling
is
people
like
to
the
shut it
best
down
thing
on
they
social.
can have without the pressure of
Social
having to
down.
succeed on the court at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
Makes
Hey,
perfect sense.
we're all used to it. Nobody's
Right.
really surprised.
All right, thanks to Adam Taliaferro again for joining us, my
Hey,
friend. That was beautiful, man.
Real
Beautiful.
quick,
Thank
what's
you.
your foundation?
Taliaferro Foundation.org if you want more information. We host a high school all-star game at Rowan every year, golf outing, so check us out. We're just trying to, 100% of everything we get goes back to patients.
Well, we appreciate everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Sports Shop. We'll be back next week.